I think in order to make this orb of energy really pop, you have to, you know, bring the value of that dark night sky into and around that orb, and it'll really make it pop. The reason it's not popping right now is because mostly you have a chromatic contrast within that orb. You have the yellow, the green, the red in the middle, but everything is within the same value range. You have, I mean, if I were to just really quickly turn this into, um, you know, black and white, right? Instantly you see that the value structure, there's not very many darks. It's all really similar value to that like glowing effect that there's coming off of it. Now, it might be a big overhaul, but I think that if you actually just took, if I took the sky color, the darkest part of the sky in the back here, and I just started to think about, you know, making, let's see what pen I have on here. Just darkening this. I know your figure is going to disappear a little bit. You could have like a little bit of a glow, or you can do like a rim light in a sec. But let's just darken this. We're going to lose some of these, you know, flourishes coming off, but that's okay for now. Alright, I'm going to darken this. Okay, so maybe you have some of this happening here where it's kind of like rays of light coming off, but I really think darkening these gaps, darkening in here, around the hand. Okay. You have great values on the face here, right? But then this white is blending in. Now look at how much more that cheek pops forward when you darken that background of the sky background that you have way over here. Right, you can darken a lot of this. This is, I don't think the glow needs to be that pronounced, I guess is what I'm saying. And then you can even bring some of this dark kind of peering through here a little bit, maybe with some color. You can use the warms again. But if you have some warmth, some darkness coming around this, you can maybe make this ball seem more spherical. And you can even do some like sacred geometry type stuff, you know, kind of coming in. You kind of already have it, but, you know, really darkening it around the edges here, making this sphere really feel spherical. Because right now it looks flat. It looks like a disc. It looks like a disc like this. And so I think really pumping up the values around it to make it have some kind of a shadow coming around and behind it. I know it's forming light, but just giving it some form, a little notation of form, I think is going to help. Yeah, anyways, that's about how much time I'm going to spend on that part. And then down here, all right, just darken all that up. Darken in here. Darken in there. And then of course you'd come in with your little speckles, you know. Get your cloud, get your stars and your galaxies from far away, right? Do all your fun stuff back there. But let's see what happens if we go back here and we do some more of this. Darken that. Let's dark color. Darken this. Just really darken it back here. I don't think the glow needs to come from behind her. And not only that, you could even use this orb as a light source. And so maybe you have a slight shift in value. Like let's say you use this green color as, let's say that's like the light source coming off of it, and we use a brush that has a little bit of opacity to it. Okay, and then we do maybe something like this, where the light is kind of radiating from it, and you're kind of creating like a shadow. Not sure about the left side. Right, so you have the light coming through from here, it's hitting your shoulder. Maybe you have just some rays coming in like this. And I think that that might send some more direction towards that could be it. Rather than this like glowing effect that you had. And then down here you could do something like this, where the light's coming around her hand. Right, because this thing is radiating light. And then what if even you had, and this is a big what if, it's up to you, take some of that green color, and then you just you have some of that on the face. And on the shoulder here. Just so she looks like she's not being pasted in from a different world. Right, you have the figure, which is a reference. It's a self-portrait, it's of you. So you're using a photo of yourself doing this, and you're painting it as if that's the light source of the lighting in your room. But this here is a magical light source, and the light source has this blue-green and then a warmth in the middle. And so what if you use that in your skin tone in the areas that have the most light? And I know that this is really rough on here, and it might make you look a little bit green or like sickly, but I think the point will come across where when a little bit of the color from the object that's creating the light is casted upon the object, it starts to feel more like they're connected in some way. And I think that's the main thing, is that you want to feel a connection between that orb of energy, and you put it on the hand here too, the orb of energy and the figure itself, right? And so that actually, I think, it's a weird thing to paint skin green, but the wonderful thing about painting skin in the light source of the thing that is projecting it, you could use the yellow too if you wanted to, or the warm color. But here, I've put all of the light areas in that value. And the great thing about that is now that your shadows are warm, because they already were, it makes those shadows really pop even more. Because you go, cool light, and then you have a warm shadow, it really makes the form wrap. And so I actually think that this looks pretty good. It's totally up to you, of course. And you could even put in some of it in your dreads here in the front, just to kind of tint that blonde hair just a little bit towards the green. Because again, the light source, right, it's coming in from this orb. Now, the radiating light that I put on it is kind of stylized, and it's a little bit different than you had it before. You had kind of like this cloudy thing going on. Now let's just go back and forth here. Yeah, now, mind you, I did this in 10 minutes, 9 minutes, 30 seconds so far. So, obviously I'd hope that you do this much, you take your time, right? You spend the right amount of time to make it look nice. This is very rough, but the ideas come across that this is the light source of the area that you're in. And it's so dark and vast around you. The cosmos is dark and vast. And you want to keep that idea in there. I think that, I'm not sure about this area here on the top left, if that needs to be there. I think that might have been a little bit too much. But I kind of like it down here where it hits the hand, and it creates like this shadow, like the hands are, it's so close to that, the light is so powerful that it actually is, changing the area around it. And then you have this nice shadow area down here that is staying there, which is really cool, like down here. Why isn't that working? Anyways, down there. Yeah, so you have a dark right there too, and then maybe you could have part of the figure, but you could also bring some warm. warm shadows into the hair here. Maybe more purpley colored to match it better. Then you can really find some stuff going on back there. But overall, I think, you know, the painting is really cool. It's got a good concept, right? And then there's also this light source coming from here. And this geometric thing you have going on here is nice. But again, it's really, the value structure of it isn't really popping. I'm not really sure how we could fix that right now, but maybe if we darken these shapes, these negative space shapes in here. Like that, and then maybe darken it around it. Really warm up your shadows now that you have a green face. The hands look nice. Structure of the hands look nice. Alright, so, you know, you could even darken this in here. Like, look at how much richer it gets when you darken that center. Yeah, that looks nice. Let's go with this blue and then darken it and increase the saturation. Let's see if we can just add a little bit of oomph, a little power to the outside brim here. And really lighten it for this. I think these strings here, these solar flares that you have coming off of this atomic structure, can really do with some highlights on this, you know, these things that are coming off. And really make them pop. You're looking for higher contrast, I think, is what you need. I could definitely get lost in this for a while and keep working on it, but I'm going to cut this video a little bit short here. And what if we did this? Really pump this up. Nah, I don't like that. I think that's fine like that. But yeah, I mean, you know, just lighten some things here and there. No, that's too much. Alright, I'm going to leave it there. Hopefully that helps. I think bringing that greenish glow into the face and then using really warm shadows to wrap the forms around. Maybe the glow from the orb itself in some way. I know that's going to be really challenging to paint. You could use glazes. Or you could paint opaquely and just have that, think of like triangles coming up, right? Think of like these, that color, opacity. So think of like these triangle shapes. Why is that so? It's not light enough. Think of like these triangle shapes coming off of it, and then having this painted within a value structure that's lighter. And then this area here, you know, lighter, something like that. Yeah, that's good. I hope that helps.